Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Cool. I'm here showing you the current version of my Crafting Dead server. Yeah, so this is a unofficial Crafting Dead server. If you want to join, all you gotta do is select the other servers. I'll be doing a little how-to in a bit, although I'm pretty sure I'm going to get bad login because I haven't relogged in days. So this is the spawn. These have been getting abused, so I'm not going to refill them. So if you want to come by and grab like the last bit of each of these, you can. Let's see. Yeah, someone took all the ammo out of those. So if you want the last bit of that loot, you can have it. So what exactly is this server? So it is the, well, was the default if you're playing single player structures but put on a multiplayer. However, the issue with this was that the structures did not, the items did not respawn in the structures. Well, we can't be having that, can we? So my solution was to put random loot spawns, and these are done kind of differently. There's a very large amount of them very close to spawn, which can lead to some pretty interesting fights, even with the very few amount of players on here. People who come here to loot at spawn, they do get in fights and do get themselves killed. So, also the zombie count is kind of a mess. So this is spawn loots, and then we have some of these buildings do respawn loot. I'm pretty sure this one does, but I guess I'd still call that spawn loots. That building respawns loot. Then we come out here. This is when the custom stuff starts coming into play. So we have a custom town here. This is actually a player's base. That's my base. That's another player's base, and a bunch of players live out there. And I'll show you those locations as well. So this is one of the loot towns. The loot does spawn here. You can loot these shelves as well. I didn't get anything. There's a public forge table. Those shelves don't open. And these spawn given proximity, so if no one's close to the location, nothing will spawn. So right now, you're not going to see anything spawned here. And that's supposed to be a fire station, but there's almost no loot in it. And you're going to see what any people have built in this small area. So through here, down the road, we have an airfield. Now, it's not done. I'm still working on it. This is the closest thing to the release to it today. Like, this just got made today. It's still got ways to be worked on. How you enter it is you come in through here. You cannot jump over these barricades. Watch. And to try to corner jump this would be to risk your life. And that reinforced barbed wire. Now, this place is actually pretty dope. There's loot. There's more loot that actually spawn out here. Run through here. A bunch of loot will be spawned in here, depending on when you get here and who's all around. Come through here. Water refill station. That is handy. You see, there are a lot of zombies in this location. There's military loot, so if you like guns, let's see if we can find. Hey, we found a same gun with ammo. Ready around Stagnag. Another P2, so we've gotten 3 P2s already. So as you can tell, it is a pretty decent location. And things people really look for here are definitely not P2s. But if you're just starting out, you see it is clear enough for you to do it, run here and grab like one loot run and then run away. Gosh dang rain. P5. See, literally a one loot run at this place. If you're good enough to pull it off, it could be a wonderful start. You do gotta bring weapons because I'm telling you, there's zombies everywhere, and some of them are the tank zombies. So don't come here completely empty-handed. Oh, that's good. maybe loot this town out here. And we also have it so you can build a base if you want to. Now, it's not completely automated yet. We're still trying to figure that part out. Because there's a glitch with permissions, so you can't put down a base center without certain permissions. So I have to do some really cringy thing to help you get started. But once you get down your base center, I say have fun. Every time you log on, you tell me, hey, I want to get some resources. I set you up with that. Because another cringy thing is you can't do resources without me. The server's currently set onto adventure mode because players could grief the map given how it's set up. And we're nowhere near done with this map for me to take that off. I don't need players to be building dirt bases because that'd be bad. That just takes away from the entire thing. So, we're getting resources and putting it in your base center. That's the only time you really need to talk to me. Otherwise, you can modify your base all you want by yourself, which a lot of people like. Out here, away from spawn. Actually, there's a map. This here is a military base. My friend there. I had a friend shoot me dead there. And these are little death markers. But as you can see, there's another town out here, and this is actually... No, not that. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's a little mini military base out there. And there's, I think... another mini military thing right there. As you can see, someone built a base there. So... if you build somewhere, hopefully not too far away, I will start putting stuff by you. So it is worth it. Now, I want you to start sticking around this general area. Keep in mind, you do have to walk back whenever you die. There's no, like, teleporting back or anything yet. So, good luck. But as you can see, there's nothing really out there. I mean, there's these natural structures, but... once they're rendered in, that loot will despawn. And trust me, players have run. I actually teleport people, and they're way out here. Alright, so you have to go pretty far out, and way over there. You have to go pretty far out to find any of that natural loot. Really far out. Not even worth it. So let me show you this military base, and you'll see why it's got red. You can't see the barriers yourselves. I can see them all the time. Because poor old me. However, you guys cannot. So let me turn up my fly speed here. Let's say 4. That should be enough. As you can see here, there is a fair-sized military base. And the good thing about this one is you can... the zombies don't actually come flooding into it. Once you kill the zombies inside, and there might not always be zombies inside. Like right now, there aren't any. It is home free loot once you get inside. Nobody there to... it's really a more PvP. And there's sufficient cover for PvP. If you've been looking around, you may have noticed that. It's pretty small, though. But yes, this is made with the official Crafting Dead mod. However, it is not an official server. We don't have any pay to win or any of that. So don't worry. Just put everybody's on equal grounds here. And there will be random, like these common loots, residential loots is what they're officially called, will be just randomly spawning around on the map. Which is going to be something I have to work in. But I think that will look pretty nice. As you can see, someone should be putting a base there. Working on it, though. By the way, if you ask me, you can get a free base center. Yeah. Maybe even a couple walls if you're lucky. And a doorway. Now here we have this nice town. It's got a few loots. This police center, police station is probably the best thing here. See, I'm getting some pretty good loot. And there's only like 2 players out here who use this place. I think one of them, one player group, because there's actually a group of players, goes all the way down to the airfield instead. Ooh, 15 damage. Let's see what we get from these, yeah? Iron brew, power bar, some crisps, some soda, and more iron brew. And the player usually loots this thing, lives over here, and that's because he's got double tall walls. And that's why his base looks so ugly. And this thing actually resets loot, which is handy. So if you want to drop by here and get rich, sure, just be aware that he loves the PvP. And he's far enough out. He actually intimidates most of the other players on here. So we don't need to worry. But he lives far enough out that it's not much of a worry. I mean, he has to run all the way to spawn and run all the way back every time. And there are a few players who live out here. Like, he's a solo. There's, I don't know, the guy over here who lives in the desert over here is a solo or team. I think he is a buddy he's teamed with. But he might be a solo. I don't know. And of course, there was that base I showed on the map earlier. That was like, it's like a 3-man base, way out there. So there are people who play this. I'm actually on, like, it's 2:30 a.m. And some people have school still, so that's why waited till about now to start recording. I didn't want to record with a bunch of people on asking me questions. So here's that guy who might be solo, might be teams base. He actually lives down here. And this game currently does not have a rating. It's actually supposed to be added in about a few months. So he'll definitely have the advantage. But as of right now, nah. Nothing fancy involved in that. And most of these locations don't reset yet. I think I'll be removing some of them and making others reset. Then way out here, good old friendly player base. And actually, these 4 locations reset. And there's a tiny military base that I set up by. This is a group of 3-man base. I actually have like a loot that spawns like right there. That's what I built right here. As you can see, tiny, tiny military base on the edge of a natural chunk, so they can farm up stuff like pork chops. Not that they can cook them or anything, but I thought it was a pretty clever base location, and because of this one military camp out here, it's probably worth it to them. It's a very crappy military camp. Mostly, it's like one military spawn at it. It takes ages. Meanwhile, the airfield has like 6. This is one military spawn. I forget. This other has like 3 or 4. Let's see if we can find out. I can't check. Let's see. As I said, 6. There's also a tiny military base right here that has 3. I get lost out here. Somewhere over here in this field, and nobody even lives out here, so it doesn't. You can take advantage of it if you want. But this is like 2, I think. It's either 1 or 2, but it's tiny. Nobody ever goes out there. And then that one snowy military base out right here has like 4. So number of military spawns does have huge significance on whether an area is good or not. The airbase might actually get more as it gets larger. The spawn here actually has 3. And I guess this is for people who managed to watch the entire video, get this far. So if you go through here, and these are actually really good. This is actually a really good loot location. I kid you not. Like, look at that. M1 Garand, and is that ammo? Has 8 shots down range. It's a G36, best assault rifle in the game. But your gear does not matter. It's the skill you put behind it. As you can see, there's a military loot there. Another one spawns there, and another one spawns there. To leave this place, go over here, crawl up, boom. So, pretty effective looting spot if you want to loot it. There's also, I'm just showing stuff at this point. These 2 looting locations. They have some police loot, and they're actually pretty effective. However, if you do base here, we had a guy who had to move his base from here because he kept getting murdered. This area might get turned into some building cool location. So there's some areas that, like I say, now you can't build here. I'm sorry. Oh, can you imagine building there? That's definitely a building spot for you guys. But there's some locations on the map where I say, I'm sorry, you can't build there. There's planned to be a loot zone. Like right here, this whole field. Somebody asked if they could put a basin there, and I said no. In a basin right here. Another player base. I believe his computer is dead at the moment. So there's group bases, there's solo bases, there's another base there. There's also bases I didn't show on cam because they're kind of far out because they don't want to be found. And they also don't have loot spawns that close to them. So, as you can see, there's actually a lot of people who play this. It's just a Crafting Dead mod pack. We do plan on eventually maybe making our own mod pack or branching off from this one. But, or using these same mods but adding to them just for the server. I think you may find it very interesting and a lot of fun if you try it. It does take some patience in the beginning, especially. Once you set up a base, you just essentially join the community. And little trifles, everybody wants to kill this man, he wants to kill everybody else. And very interesting chat. We do have a Discord. I guess I'll link it down below. And it was intended for my previous servers, but looks like it's been turned into a Crafting Dead. We have a voice channel for this with a capacity of 8, and that's filled up before. I had to temporarily increase the capacity for it to like 10. So, believe me, people actually do play on here. So, I disconnect, hit play, other servers. As you can see, the IP. This might be temporary IP, by the way. Think about buying an Amazon server, and see, look, I'm in. Now, game mode 1. Voila. I also plan on eventually adding some more plugins, because right now, if you look at the plugins, it's basic. Literally everything I just need to keep this thing running and to build. I mean, there's no ranks, there's no fancy chat or any of that. And this is Minecraft 1.6, so my building is pretty limited. Like, even, there's not the new fences, there's not the new doors, so the builds I make will be a little bit bland, I know. There's also a ton of blocks missing still. Like, note how much there isn't there if you go on like a single player. How the logs are weird. Like, yeah. It's not even stained glass yet. So my apologies if builds are a bit bland, but I'm trying to work with this stuff. I really don't have a lot to work with. And I think I'm going to end it with that. Goodbye.